Welcome to Vlogmas16, part 2 of Mode's intros video. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. Let's jump right back into it. Anyhow, I digress.
You do. Okay, I'm sorry.
So that was it. And like the massage part is where we started once a week. Every, I think, Sundays.
Yes.
Sundays. So every Sunday, Mode would come down and do the massage for like an hour and a half, and then she'd go back home.
Yes.
On Sundays.
At some point there, we started taking pictures also.
Also on Sundays.
So we had a day where we ended up going to a place and take photos. I was like, I'm not, like you said, I'm not a photographer, but I can handle a phone. Like I can do okay. You need more material to post. And then Sundays and sorry?
No, it's just because at the time I wasn't posting much on Instagram.
No, yeah, he was like, he did great with like selfies and tripod and stuff, but it's never the same as if there's someone else and whatever. Yeah, so I ended up, I was like, hey, I'm not a professional, but I can help. And I think he liked the pictures I took on the first time. So and then we ended up on Sundays. I would come here every Sunday and do photos and massages.
Eventually it kind of like we really like kind of became more than just like, oh, let's just work together. We really became close friends. And like we were like having dinners and just going to restaurants just to talk about whatever we do, maybe take some pictures at the restaurant where we were at. So like we like just became friends from there, and then we started just spending like more than once a week. Like we'd be like, okay, can we do pictures another day now? Or like, so it kind of like evolved. But
and at some point we started working out when the gyms reopened after the pandemic. So we started working out, and he's a PT, personal trainer. So sort of anyways. And I like working out, but I don't have enough like knowledge to come up with my own stuff and my own training program or whatever. So he helped me with that. Ended up coming to work out with him so that he would make sure my phone was okay and everything. And I just ended up spending a lot more time in the area, and I lived an hour away, so it was a lot of back and forth.
Because at the time, like I lived on the North Shore and Mode lived on the South Shore of Montreal, which Montreal is an island, so like there's two shore, but we were like an hour away from each other, so travel was kind of a hassle for her to travel a lot, and like
business was picking up. Like we were getting more and more serious about doing the whole social media thing, and the more serious you get about something, the more time you have to spend doing it, right? And so I just ended up spending more and more time here because it was a lot easier.
But at one point, like we calculated the amount of time she was spending in a car to go back and forth, and it was something like 14 to sometimes 20 hours, like due to traffic and like the whole thing. So
especially on Sundays.
Sundays here is like crazy.
Sunday traffic.
And after that, for months, we were doing that for a year almost. We did that now.
Yes.
For a year, like she was traveling back and forth.
Oh, and at the time, I'm still a teacher, by the way. Full-time kindergarten teacher. So there's that too.
She's going to work in the morning, and then she goes on live after that with us, like at night, and then she does her thing, whatever. So she was really, really working hard, and like our friendship just like evolved, and like she's literally now the person that I talk to about everything. Like she's
same.
Like we talked about like everything now, like just like situationship, like boys and girls, like the people that we're dating, that we're seeing, and
family issues, work issues, stress issues, positive things too. Like,
oh, of course, but like it's just when you talk to someone, like you need to vent or whatever. You usually go to your best friend. Like, of course, you tell the good things, but like like all the successes and everything. But so it kind of evolved like that, and at one point where we kind of had a discussion of us moving in together, because I live in a two-bedroom apartment, and I was like, well, I have one that is only my office for streaming, and as like I said, I always wanted to do social media, and I've seen a lot of people that like had their videographer live with them because it's super easy, effective. Like they wake up, they're already ready to film, and like the whole process is really, really simple. So it's something that have crossed my mind before, but I was like not thinking about mode. But
no, exactly. You weren't talking about me, but you had talked to me about doing that.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, so
YouTube was getting like becoming more and more of a possibility, and like a project.
Yeah, 100%. For me, YouTube has always been something that I wanted to do. So at one point, like I said, like I thought of that personally, but the more we kind of worked together and Mo was getting involved into the whole project and what I was doing and what I wanted to do, it's like it kind of became a topic of like, well, you could rent the room, that like the extra room that I have. I'll move like my gaming stuff in the like office space out of it, and you could just rent it. Like we're gonna save like on time. Well, we are. Well, you are, because me, like I was not really like.
No, you just have to wait.
Yeah. So like I would still do my things during daytime, and then she would like travel and everything. So at one point, like we kind of started talking about like moving in and renting the other room. So and she was like, "Are you like really considering it?" I was like, "I think so. I think."
Yeah, it took a minute for that. So we started talking about that. I think it was in November last year. I think.
I don't remember exactly when though.
Ish, something along those lines.
She's better with the dates than I am. I'm
a girl. But yeah, I think we started talking about it, and I said because at that time we were talking about moving out of the country also.
Yep.
And I said
because of the
worldwide
situation.
But because of that, and also just because of opportunities that we don't have here in Quebec.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we talked about moving, and that would mean us moving in together over there, because I mean, you're moving to another country, we don't have the money to each have our own apartment. So we talked about that, and then we were talking about the fact that you might need like a testing period before we leave.
Yeah, because I lived alone, you know, I always lived alone, so.
I've had roommates, and I knew from hanging out with them that I was fine, and I've also lived abroad before.
I'm a cool dude, so.
You are, yes, gosh, yes, for sure. So yeah, I knew that I was gonna be fine living with him, but I didn't know if he would be okay living with me. Not that I'm like hard to live with, but just because of what we said.
Just because me.
Yeah.
Just the way I am. Yeah.
So I said something along those lines. I was like, I don't need a trial period, but you might, and it just kind of stayed that way. And I was like, you do your own thinking and processing of the information, and whatever. Yeah. And then fast forward to January.
February. The end of February.
Yes.
Actually, yeah. So that's kind of where my process went. I went to Mexico, a trip with one of my ex-roommate, Kevin.
Well, that was a short-term roommate, because he said he hasn't lived with people before.
Yeah,
like,
it was
short-term roommate.
Yeah, like a 6-month thing. And I'm in Mexico, and like I remember talking to Mo, and I was like, you know what? I've been thinking about it. Even here, I think it could be a really like, because I saw like the progress and everything, and I was really enjoying it. I was like, I think right now could be a good time for you to move in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take everything out. I think it would be a good moment. We can kind of like we gain momentum in the whole field and everything. So I was like, okay, let's just do it. Let's send it. You know.
Yeah. I remember getting that text message. Well, he's in Mexico, and I remember getting the message. We were talking about business stuff, and in one of the messages, he goes, "And we need to figure out things for you to move in."
Yeah.
And I just went, "Oh,
wait,
unexpected." And it's also one of those moments where you realize, okay, I'm involved in this. You know, like one of those, okay, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Moments.
And for me, it was like, okay, let's just do it. So if I'm like I'm jumping in, like I'm going all in. So let's do it. Let's give it a not a trial period. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much like where she moved in. We started doing more content, and you know, like that's like this summer. Like now it's been.
Oh yeah, and at that point, it hadn't been. He's like, where is she going with this?
No.
At that point, I had made the decision that I was going to quit my job as a teacher. I hadn't told my school board, I hadn't told my school yet. I just had made the decision, but I was waiting for the right time to say it. I wanted to make sure I finished the school year with my kids and all of that. So I knew that I was going to take at least a 1-year hiatus to work full-time with them and see how far we can take this. But I feel like the moment where he said, okay, move in, was also a moment where like, okay, that decision is final, because I had made the decision in my head, but I hadn't officialized it with my job. So yeah, that's also another.
That was a big moment. So that's I think, and now like it pretty much now she's here helping me out with everything, and she's growing. Yeah, she's growing as well. Her social media is good. She's working with new people as well. So I feel like that's pretty much of a good recap of how we met and where we're at. I feel there's more potential coming. There's a lot to talk about, like even more stories that are probably going to come up because we don't think of them right now.
No, but and right now we kind of stuck to the business part of it because like we could give you a bunch of friendship stories.
Of course. But I just wanted to do the intro of like how we met. So like I think it's
while we work together.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's kind of a good starting point, and then eventually, man, you guys will just.
I'm sticking around.
Yeah, like I said, I've talked about Mode and like you've seen her on camera, but she's the one helping me with everything. So yeah, that is pretty much. I think it's a good recap of like the last year and a half, 2 years we've been doing that and working together. So
should we take like 5 seconds to just answer the question burning on anyone who doesn't know us?
Oh yes, I think one of the most asked questions ever. Are we a couple? No, we're not. We're not together, and like it's a question that has been asked a bunch in the beginning.
Oh, not even just in the beginning.
No, it's still this day, of course.
We still get asked, but even by people who have known our friendship since the beginning. It's really funny. We do have a very nice chemistry, but
of course, but like you have to have a good chemistry to work with someone like 24/7.
Yeah.
So like, of course, but in the beginning it was like, are you guys together? And then that question evolved to, why aren't you together?
And sometimes we get, when will you
be
together?
And we're like it was just, and then both of us are like,
oh god,
it's not like that.
No,
like
it's not.
And I'm like,
I mean, I love you, but no.
I mean, it's just, I get it. Like when you see like, a man and a woman, it's just like, yeah, like, I feel like they
you always assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
especially now that I live here.
Oh yeah, of
people
course.
are like, yeah, sure, okay. And I was like, no. And in the lives, you see me in the background going back and forth, and like I cook your food. And
100%.
So like, yeah, it's, but no.
So yeah, it was just really, really funny. So yes, that question, to answer you guys, no, we're not together.
Never have been?
No. I feel like we just have such a good friendship that is like, I don't know.
It's just not how it happened.
It's not how it happened, but also we kept the business part. We're just like, okay, well, we don't see each other like that. And like, yeah. So for that question, no, we're not together. Yeah, man.
That's it.
So that's going to conclude the video. Thank you so much for watching. It might be a long one. It might. I don't know until this right now.
We'll see after editing.
So don't forget, leave a comment down below if you guys have any questions for Mode. We might have another Q&A at some point. Leave some question for Mode or me about that topic. And if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification. We'll see you tomorrow.